I feel like I achieved like Petalmorphosis, like that name going here. What do you guys think? Oh my gosh, the shimmers just all melt together. Oh my gosh. And like, because I created the dimension with the shimmers and the mattes, it just has so much dimension and just looks so beautiful. And then my base, I mean, I tried out a new foundation in this video. This base is just so beautiful, and I did pull a lot of my favorites here. And like, you know, these ones I can always count on, but I tried out a new foundation and I absolutely love it. And this might just be my #1 foundation, like overall. I'm gonna keep testing it, but you'll see all these details in the video. So if you want to see how I got this look, keep on watching. All right, we're just gonna go ahead and get right into it. I'm always starting off with priming my eyelids, and I'm just using the AOA Studio, the Flawless, like the concealer stick in the shade Porcelain. This is actually what I used to use when I first started my like makeup content journey, and it's a really nice base. I've never really used this as like a concealer itself, but I really do like this on my eyelid because it just gives a really nice base, but you do have to set it because it is quite tacky. Now I'm setting with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. This has just been my go-to, but I always dab off the excess in the cap, and I always use this triangle sponge to apply it. Nowadays, I've been doing my brows at the end just because I get so much product into my eyebrows. Doing it at the end, like I can clean it up a little bit and then make sure everything looks defined. So I'm just gonna keep doing that for now. A lot of you guys really loved the Pat McGrath Petalmorphosis review. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. There's a lot of fingerprints on this, but I figured I'd do another look with this because I've been absolutely in love ever since I got this. And I have done a few tutorials on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube Shorts, I guess, but my long form videos are a lot more detailed. So here we go. Taking my fluffy brush and dipping into this purple shade right here, I'll basically start getting a crease going. I like to focus on like the outer corner and the inner corner and blending, but I'm going to do this just a little differently. And I'm just taking some of that color and sweeping it back and forth, and I'll slowly build up color because these pigments or these shadows are really pigmented, so I like to just build up as I go. I realize, like, you know, the name is Petalmorphosis, and I really just want to do like a look that just reflects that name. So I'm gonna go for like the pinky florally colors, even though I know flowers come in different colors, but when I think of like a flower, I think of like pinks, purples, reds, so that's what I'm gonna be aiming for now. Now I'll take that same brush and I'll dip into this shade right here. It has some specks of like a gold shimmer on here, but I find that it doesn't really show up as much. And I'm just gonna lay that on the top part of my crease, really just to help me blend out that purple like that. And this one, if you look really closely, you'll be able to see that gold flecks, but it's honestly more matte to me, and I'll be blending in some of my shimmers into my crease anyway, so I think it's okay. Yeah, we're going pretty heavy with the colors right now. I'm going to take the brush and kind of like flatten it with my fingers right here. I don't know if that was good. Okay, like that. And I'll dip back into the purple and smoke out my bottom lash line. So I'm minimizing the amount of brushes I have to clean after this. Okay, I like how this is looking. I'm just blending to make sure everything looks even between these two eyes, by making sure I have a nice blend in this area where my, like, both my lash lines connect, so I don't have a weird gap just with the shape of my eyes. Now I'm switching to a flat brush and I'll dip into this shade, and I'm basically, I'll just pat that on my center, I'll just pat this on the center of my lids just to give me a good base, because I'm going to use like that topper shimmer shade I have. This one's more like a classic shimmer. This one doesn't scream like any special formula. Like, the formula of this one is different from these. Like, it's just not giving the same like special rich coverage. Like, see, you kind of have to build this up, which is okay, but this is like, for at this higher price point, I kind of wish all of the shimmers had that like heavy, creamy texture. I mean, this is still a nice shimmer, it's just not my favorite. But for layering shimmer shadows, this is a fantastic shade because it's just nice and light, and it'll lay really well underneath these other colors. And I'm switching to like an even flatter brush. This almost kind of mimics like how my finger would apply, so I do really like using this brush. I think I'm gonna dip into this pink shade right here and basically layer that on the center of my lid. I haven't actually tried this yet on my eyes, so this will be interesting. Okay, this one needs some layering. Ooh, pretty. It's got this peach tone in this shimmer shade is going really well with this shade in my crease. This honestly feels more like a topper, like the other purple shade that I have on here. It feels very similar to that. It is really pretty though. I don't think I've ever used like an orange shimmer shade on my lid. I kind of like it. I do want some more dimension, so I'm going to use that same brush and dip into like this copper, deeper purple shade. And I'm basically going to layer this on the outer part of my lid, so both of these shimmers can kind of blend in together. And then also on my inner corner, just like that. But I'm going to just try to keep this right in the inner corner, so I don't deepen this too much. Just like that. I just love how Pat McGrath's shimmers just kind of melt together, because look at that dimension. It's just really it just brings more drama to my eyes. Really pretty. I'm also bringing this darker shade into my crease, and I'll be blending this out a little bit so I don't have a harsh line. For these topper shades like this one, fingers just work best. No matter what brush you use, I always find that fingers just work better. So I'm going to take a little of this. Oh, it's really pretty. It's like an iridescent purpley pink shade, and it's gonna look perfect on this. So I'm just gonna dab this on the center of my lid. Yeah, wow, look at that. That's so pretty. I wonder, someone commented I could use this all over my face, which I love that Pat McGrath palettes, you know, are meant to do that. But I've never been like a highlighter person, so we'll see if I feel daring enough to do this. I might put this on my highlight points, but we'll see how the look goes, okay? But look how pretty. It just gives like a wet shine. But this shade is absolutely just a topper. You have to have shadows underneath this. It's not gonna look right unless you want like a look where it's just like the light catching like the little specks. But when you layer it, you can create so many beautiful combinations, and it all just melts together, which is the reason why I love Pat McGrath palettes so much. Like everything just melts together so well. I'm gonna take that flat like skinny brush and dip into that darker purple shimmer and basically add that to my lower lash line and blend it in. See the tip, it's not completely sharp, but that tip just lets me like place it exactly where I want it, so I can just keep that definition. Because with purple and pink tones on me, if they're too blended out, I look like a sick person. Not that I don't already, but this will just make it worse. Like it'll look like I'll have very red bags under my eyes. So I really have to be careful how I place these shadows. I'm going to take like a stiffer like crease brush and dip into that first like purple matte shade. But I'm only gonna take a little bit, but I'm gonna use this shade to blend that line where I have my shimmers ending and like my matte crease going. It'll just kind of diffuse the whole look together, so I don't have like a weird little line. And this, like just these little details can really make or break a look. Like see, I just have like a patch of like shimmers right here. I'm just gonna layer this right on the edge of that, and it's just gonna create a seamless blend. And it lets me add more depth at this stage. I love how the eyes look, so I'm gonna go ahead and do some liquid eyeliner and stick on my lashes, and I'll be right back. This is the eyeliner I've just been loving. This is from by Terry. I still don't know how to pronounce this, but it's spelled Ligne Black Star. but it says intensive liquid eyeliner. It's really, really nice. I normally don't enjoy doing like liquid eyeliner on me. I'm fantastic on other people. When it comes to me, I just don't like it. And on me, smoky liner just tends to look better. But I think for more glamorous, like Pat McGrath, like colorful looks, liquid solid liner just looks better. But I've been absolutely loving this one. So if you're looking for another liquid eyeliner, you can try this out. I always like to show with and without lashes. I just love it. That's all. After getting on your lashes, you want to make sure you put on some mascara on the bottom lashes because everything's going to be coated with a lot of eyeshadow, and then just a little bit on your top lashes to make sure everything blends in. But I think we're good on the eyes, and again, I'm going to touch my eyebrows later. We can go ahead and start on the face. I'm super excited about this. I'm really, really excited to try this foundation out. I finally got a Dior foundation. I feel like I hear everyone raving about it, and I just hadn't bought it. I have so many other foundations, but I was like, you know what? Let's just try it out. But I got the Dior Forever Transfer Proof 24-Hour Foundation, and I got 2 WO. I was matched, so hopefully this works. When I was getting matched, I told the sales associate that I am like a warm olive, and she's like, okay, that's fine. We'll do process of elimination. She picked like 5 or 6 shades, and we just started swatching, letting it sit for a little bit because I was worried about it oxidizing. But she told me it doesn't oxidize, so we'll kind of see. We just did swatches on my neck because I was shopping with a full face of makeup, of course. But I think this is going to be a good match. Yeah. But I did about like 1 pump, and I always dab around my face just to have like a spread even amount, to spread even the amount. Oh my god, you guys know what I mean. I'm sorry, it's like really late and it was a long day, but it's okay. I basically just disperse the product across my face just by dabbing it, and then I'll use a brush, like a flat brush like this, and blend everything out. Ooh, yeah, this might be a little warmer than me, but I actually kind of prefer foundations that are a little warmer. I love like a nice tanner bronzed foundation. As long as it doesn't oxidize too orange, we're good. Just what I'm noticing right off the bat, it's drying super fast. I did apply like the dots really like in a thin layer, so that might be making it dry faster, but I honestly prefer foundations that dry faster because most of the time I am in a hurry or like in a time crunch. Like right now, my son's asleep. It's what, like midnight, maybe? And you know, my son could wake up at any moment, so I do prefer fast drying foundations. Now this is like a matte foundation. It hasn't fully set yet, but matte is what I wanted. And I think this is beautiful. Yeah, it doesn't feel heavy at all. Really nice. And it smells really nice. It smells like a nice shampoo. I love that. I really do. But for the amount I used, this is actually really like, this is like medium to pretty high coverage. Wow, man. I wish I tried this sooner. It's really nice. I'm not worrying about my foundation under my eyes that much because I'm going to use a like brightening concealer. This is like my favorite high-end concealer, so I'm just going to use this right here. It's the Hourglass like Vanish concealer, Vanish Set Concealer. I have the shade Oat, and I know like with this concealer, people either really love it or really hate it. I am on the love crew, and that's interesting because a lot of people that hate it are people that have drier skin, and I actually have pretty dry skin. So I don't know, I do hydrate my base a lot before I start, and I also don't use that much product. Like this is actually a lot more than I normally use, but it's okay. It's okay. I just blend this into like the sides of my nose to help snatch my nose a little bit. A lot of people, like I hear a lot of people say that this creases on, like they get a lot of creasing with this one. Honestly, I stopped putting concealer that high into like under my eyes, so I just don't really put it where it creases, so that hasn't really been a problem for me. So if you're finding that this concealer creases, maybe try this out. just because I always have eyeshadow smoked underneath my eyes that I won't really need to put concealer, like right now. And I'm honestly probably gonna like put a little bit more shadow on my under eye as well. I mean, I love this concealer. It sets fast, it sets matte, which I love. And this shade is perfect. It's like a warmer tone, so it's really brightening on me. I'm gonna do all my cream products first and then start setting with my powders. But I'm gonna use the Patrick Ta, like the Double Take Cream and Powder Blush in She Goes to the Gym. This is currently the only shade I have. I do really want She Seductive. So we'll see, maybe that's something I can catch on the sale. But I'm using like a stippling brush and going into the cream and just stippling this on where I want to focus the color. So like I always place my blush like if I'm looking straight where my eyes are and outward. Now I will bring it up to the temple for more like dramatic looks. And since I have such like a pink flush on my eyes, I kind of want to just take this to my outer corner. When I layer a lot of products on, like my blush and my cream bronzer and then cream blush, and then like the powder products, I really just like to dab. I've never really had a problem with my products moving around or pilling, and I think that's because I dab a lot, because during the day, even when I do my full faces, I always have on sunscreen. Now I haven't used any like Korean or Asian sunscreens. Like the one I use is from La Roche-Posay, and a lot of people experience pilling with that one, but because I dab, I haven't really had a problem with that. So if you're experiencing pilling, like if you haven't tried just dabbing everything on, maybe try that. Then you can still use your favorite products. I always put like a little bit on my nose. That's just my signature style at this point. Now for cream contour and bronzer, this is my favorite, like of all time. It's the Makeup by Mario SoftSculpt Shaping Stick, and I use the shade light to medium. This is just beautiful. It's everything I want in like a bronzer / contour product. It dries down matte, and it's just super blendable, and it's like the perfect like neutral undertone. Well, at least this shade is, because it's not too warm where it looks weird if I use it like a contour like this. But when I apply it on my forehead and my cheeks, it has like just, it's not even like bronzy. It's almost like rosy without looking red. It's hard to explain, but this, if you're like around my skin tone and you're looking for a bronzer contour duo, the light medium shade of this, amazing. I mean, and I'm applying this with the brush. Just look, it literally looks like I applied like the perfect shadow. Beautiful. Same thing with my larger brush. Basically using like a brush that's shaped like this to apply right here. So you can tell it has like almost like a little bit of a reddish tone, at least on me. I know on olive skin tones things can look quite different than on other people, but I think this is beautiful. But I'm basically hitting the perimeters of my face and then kind of where my cheekbones are and pulling it upwards. And then I'll take just a little bit more and put it under my chin. This is just to make everything look cohesive. I'm not really trying to contour my chin that much. Now we can start setting, and I'm gonna of course use my Laura Mercier translucent powder for my under eyes. This is just, honestly just iconic, but I'm trying to use just like a tiny amount. Yeah. Even though like the Hourglass concealer does have like a matte finish, it's not like completely matte, especially since you're layering like a lot of products together. Like if you're using a really hydrating or like greasy moisturizer and you're applying like even like a matte foundation, it's not gonna set fully matte because of that. But using a powder on top will kind of help glue everything together. Here's a little hack for your eyebrows. Like if you feel like your eyebrow products are moving around, just take a little setting powder and just rub it on your eyebrows. This will kind of help all the other products stick, especially if you use like a brow gel or something. It'll just help glue everything in. Now you want to make sure you use a translucent powder. Don't use like a foundation powder. We don't want to add color to your brows, just that. And then brush the excess out like this and then color it in. I've been liking having like fluffy brows, so I'm just filling in the sparse areas, and I'm not going to use any gel or anything to set. And I am gonna go a little heavier on the brows. Anytime I have like more dramatic eye looks, heavier brows are just my go-to, but I literally just fill in the front where it's a little sparse and make sure I have that definition. Remember, sisters, not twins. I remember Michelle Phan kind of introduced that a long time ago. And then this gap right here. But see, my products are sticking on beautifully. Anytime I just recently started powdering my brows before putting product in. It's been a game changer. Now we can use our powder blush and bronzer, which is my favorite. I have to stick with like my Pat McGrath for this look, but this is the Divine Bronzer in Nude Honey. I mean, this one is like has like that rosier tone to it. It's deeper than like my go-to bronzer from Pat McGrath, but I'm here for it. And it just has like a little bit of a rosiness to it. Like when it comes to bronzers, there's so many options out there, and it's been really hard for me to find bronzers that I love because I hate when they turn completely orange. I mean, I do like some of my bronzers to have that warmth and bronziness to it, but on me, some of these things just turn like so horribly orange, and I can't stand it. But this is a beautiful one. Now for blush, I'm not going to use the one in the Patrick Ta compact because it's a little too pigmented, especially for like this pink look that I have going on. I kind of want something that's a little bit more buildable. So I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Cheek to Chic Swish and Pop blusher, and I use the shade Sex on Fire. I've had this for ages. I love this one. This has to be like one of my favorite blushes of all time. It's just buildable, like see? And it's like nice and like cooler toned, which is always what I go for. Because it's buildable and it has like a nice matte finish, it's almost blurring tiny textures that I have on my skin. Time for the lips. I'm using NYX lip liner in the shade Coffee. I really wish Coffee did look more of like a brown shade. This is like really pink, but it's still nice. It's just not what I was looking for. Yeah, it's like so pink. I really wish Coffee actually looked like a coffee color. Also, I was moving around my lip collection to like my new storage unit here, and I realized I lost some of my favorite lipsticks and lip products. Like, I wanted to use MAC Whirl or Plum with this look, and I couldn't find either of them. And then my Charlotte Tilbury, like one of the lipsticks, 90s pink, that I absolutely loved. I hadn't seen it in a while, and I was hoping I was going to see it when I was reorganizing, but I can't find it. So MAC, Charlotte Tilbury, if you guys wanna sponsor me, I wouldn't mind that at all. I don't think I want to do, maybe I do. Do I want to do a lip gloss or like a glossy lipstick? Ooh, okay, I'm gonna do a lip gloss today. I'm gonna use NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Angel Food Cake. This one's like a really purpley pink shade, but I think it's gonna go really well with this look. Yeah, NYX Butter Glosses, these are hard to beat because these are affordable and they're stunning. Like, they're gloss that have pigment to them. They don't feel too like sticky. They don't really slide everywhere like a lot of other lip glosses do. And like the pigment you get with this lip gloss is just hard to beat. And they have such a nice shade range, especially when it comes to like pinks and browns and like neutrals. NYX is top in that. I think that's all for the look. This one came together faster, I think. What do you guys think? Yeah, since I don't have like any dramatic like darker colors in my crease, everything just kind of melted together, and this is just like it's a much simpler look than my last one, but still nice and dramatic, which I love. Okay, what do we think? Okay, I love it, and I am absolutely thrilled with this foundation because I didn't set like the rest of my face that much, and it has like an actual nice matte set down. I think of all the foundations I have, even the ones that claim to be matte, except the L'Oreal Maybelline Fit Me, that one actually does dry matte. This just has such a beautiful matte finish. Like, this sits beautifully. I wish I tried this sooner. And the thing is, the Fit Me is nice and matte, but it can cling to dry patches and it can look a little bit dry and it feels drying, right? But this, I mean, it looks so smooth. Like, when people say the Dior foundations are really nice, and this is the first Dior foundation I've tried, I think they're absolutely right. This has to be like my #1 foundation. I mean, I've tried it once. I will keep trying this out and update my thoughts. But this, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet. Yeah, I absolutely love this look. Let me know what your thoughts are. And if you have the Petalmorphosis palette, like, do you love it as much as I do? Because in my last video, I was like gaga all over this palette. And I continue to love it. I have done a couple more looks on my TikTok and Instagram account, and of course YouTube Shorts. But I just love like these full-on dramatic looks, and my YouTube tutorials just have so much more detail to them. But I haven't done this look on those platforms, but this, I love the drama. I love it. So pretty. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and let me know your thoughts. And if you want to see my face more often and see a lot more looks with this palette and like a whole bunch of other palettes, both high-end and affordable, I do love using like products from like all price ranges. I always like to say a good product is a good product. So if you want to see that, go follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I upload there multiple times a day, every single day. So if you love my face, you can find it there. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again soon.